Morning everyone. Well, it's morning for me anyway. I don't know what it is for you, but it's morning for me. Welcome back to Motorcycle Junkie, and welcome back to another day. And what we're going to try and do, it's going to get fucking hot later today, and I don't like working in the heat. But before it does get too hot, what I'd like to do is a leak down test on cylinder 1 of our GPZ engine. Now I have a leak down tester, shall we say, which I bought several months ago, I'll be honest with you. I think I bought it for that Kimco. Those who've been following my channel, I bought a Kimco scooter, and I think this was bought for that, and I've never ever used it. I don't know why I didn't use it on that. Obviously I found reason not to, but it's here, and I'd like to get to the bottom of where we're losing a little bit of compression on cylinder 1. More bothered about the mismatch than the actual reading. 165 on cylinder 2 versus 125 on cylinder 1. I still haven't found anybody that can conclusively tell me what would be the results of running it in its current condition, because I'll be honest, it run fine and I wouldn't have even known there was a problem. Let's come out. Should that have come out? Well, maybe. Hang on, where was I? Yeah, I wouldn't have even known there was a problem if I hadn't have done the test. And one or two people have said, oh, it'll be shit on fuel, or it'll run rough, and well, I mean, it wasn't running rough. So again, anyone out there who absolutely knows what the result would be of running this engine as is, 125 versus 165 psi on the cylinders. But anyway, let me figure out this shitty thing here. Now that we've got a gauge there that will tell us whether the leakage we've got is high, moderate or low. I'm told with these Chinese things they're not very reliable, but all we're looking to do, to be honest with you, and you can kind of do this without a leak down test, we're inflating the cylinder. If you sort of take it, this, and I'm no expert, and this sounds like I'm trying to tell you how to do it, but no, as I understand it, and as I see it, it's like blowing up an inner tube looking for the leak. You know, blow up an inner tube and then you can hear the air coming out. Well, what we're doing here is we're blowing up the cylinder effectively. We're inflating the cylinder and seeing where the air comes out. The only difference is air will come out. They're not 100% airtight. So you have to sort of figure out where it's leaking the worst, and you know, if it's valves, I hope it's valves, to be honest. If it's valves, if it's intake, you'll hear it hissing out of here. If it's exhaust valve, you'll hear it hissing out of here. I think maybe if it's head gasket, we could probably squirt some fucking soapy water around the edge of that. We can listen down here at the fuel oil filler. That's probably tell us it's rings, which is what I don't want it to be. But yeah, less waffling, let's get it set up. Right, just waiting for the compressor to, noisy fucking thing. I'm just waiting for the compressor to fill up, because I ain't used it for a little while, so it's completely pig shit empty. You see my pads that I've put on, knee pads and tank protector. Quite like them. The only thing I don't like about them, I keep picking it out, is that the glue is sort of coming through the edge there. I mean, it'll all wear out eventually, I suppose, but yeah. Yeah, anyway, a little distraction. Right, the compressor's fired up. I just had to make an adjustment to the leak down tester, because the fitting here, I had to change it. That was the one that was in it, that's the one that's now in it, which is the one I've got my compressor set on. So this is the blind leading the blind, because if I was to tell you that I was an expert at doing compression tests, I'd be fucking lying. So firstly, let's get some air in it. I'm thinking, I don't know what to put it up to, I'm thinking maybe 20 psi. So, get you. We are genuinely doing this together. I've not done it, I promise you. So I'm assuming this is a bit like a beer regulator, and we just wind up the pressure. I think. Well, that don't fucking turn, so is that what you do? Told you I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, there we go. That's turning. Fucking hell, that's stiff. Sorry guys, I'm trying to... Is that how you do it? What's that say on there? Maximum pressure. I'm assuming that you wind the pressure in on here, but it's not going up. Come on, don't tell me I'm being a fucking idiot and this isn't how you do it. Bum 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 bum. Come on, what am I doing wrong? Because that's not moving at all. I'm showing no PSI. Oh, 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 oh. We've got air. That. Oh, that's kind of good news. I don't know if you can hear that. But the compressor will kick in a minute. Look at this gauge, telling me that it's really bad. I've got nearly 20 psi on it, so I don't know if you can hear that, but that is absolutely pissing out the exhaust. So, it's exhaust valve. Hang on, can I hear anything? Yeah, it's exhaust valve. It's got to be. Can you hear it? It's definite. Well, well. There you go, guys. Leakdown test. You can see on this gauge here that it's telling me that I've got probably 85% leak down. So in other words, the pressure that's going in... hang on a minute, now I'm being a divvy, ain't I? No, I thought it was too good to be true. I've not set it so the valve's closed, have I? So I'm being a fuckwit. Right, let me rotate the engine so that the valve's closed. 1 second. Right, I've now got it at top dead centre. I've took the top of the engine off just to make 100% sure I'm at top dead centre. So let's introduce the air again. And that's actually, it kind of blew the piston down a bit, if you know what I mean. So just turn that to seal. So let's take some of that pressure off, because I've got 20, nearly 30 psi. Fuck, that's stiff. Right, 20 psi. Now let's just turn that so that so that's top dead centre. It's showing moderate leakage, and that is still leaking out the exhaust valve. So just see if I can hear anything out the intake. can't hear anything at all out the intake. Let me just take the fuel filler cap off. The oil filler cap rather. Because that's the biggie. If I can hear it out the oil filler cap, then that's rings in it, as far as I know. Like I said, I'm not trying to come over as an expert here because I ain't one. Turn that fucking engine. Who put that fucking bin there? Oh, I did. Right, hang on a sec. No. Here we go again. Right. When that's finished, I'll turn you back on. Right, okay, we're still connected. So if I hold that, I have to hold it at TDC because the air pressure is actually blowing the piston down. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Let me just make sure you can. So we've got 20 psi going in, we've got a 40% leak, and that is all coming out the exhaust. So that's good news to me. So at some point what we need to do then is whip this head off, and I won't just do that, I'll lap all of the valves, I'll relap all of the valves, put it back together, and hopefully we should have the that little problem solved. So the engine's only got about 24,000 on it, so in theory it shouldn't have been the rings anyway. So yeah, anyway, good little bit of kit that. Right, that'll do for now. We'll catch you later. Right then, so now we know what we're doing with the engine, or what is required. I need to get some parts on order. I need a top end gasket set, head gasket and bits and pieces. We'll regrind them valves, hopefully get that put back together, and engine will be sorted. Probably need a pressure wash and a spray, but time to turn our attention to this this frame, what's left of it. Now I don't want to find myself with hundreds and hundreds of bits left laying around all over the place and I don't know where they go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off what's remaining of this frame in big chunks for the time being, and I will not strip down until I'm ready. So I think if I undo that top shock mount and then take the swing arm bolt out, I can remove the whole of that back end in one great big lump, leave it all bolted together, and don't strip that down until I'm ready to have it stripped down. Still haven't made my mind up about the frame, whether I'm going to try and do it myself or have it powder coated. I know having it powder coated is the correct thing to do, but I'm getting some horrendous prices from my area, around about the 200 quid mark, which I don't know, maybe that's the going rate and I'm just a tight ass, but yeah, 200 quid for the frame and swing arm is the sort of area people are quoting me, and there's not that many powder coaters around my way either, so you know, they can probably charge what they want to charge, you know, and that's not me having a go at them. That's good business. If the demand's there and they can make that money, why not? But am I willing to pay it? Anyway, let me grab some spanners. We'll get those two bolts out and see if that rear end will come away. Right then, we'll start with this top suspension spring mount, I think. Not a lot of room to get in there with a spanner, but let's see how she goes. Oh, you bastard, that's tight. Mind you, I suppose it should be. I struggle. Does that undo or nope? That's do up. Set it to undo, you divvy. And she's off. And she's on the floor. Right, pop that up there. Is that under any sort of pressure, I wonder? I bet the fucker is. And undo it from this side as well. Bolt's near enough out, but it's got some weight on it, so there we go. Right, that's that one. That was nice and easy. Now the swing arm itself. So that's that one there. Okay, that come off nice and simple, and looks like it's going to slide out nice and simple as well. Yeah, it's greased. This bike's been looked after, I'll be honest with you. It's showing all the signs that someone's looked after it. Now I'm hoping that's it. Oh, and of course the fucking dog bone's connected, isn't it? So down under there is what they call the dog bone. I think that's what they call it anyway. If they don't, that's what I'm fucking calling it. Is that going to put up resistance, or is it going to come out? We'll stop in the stand, stopping it. So rather awkwardly, I've got to take it off the stand to be able to free that bolt. Come on, you fucking twat. Oh! Yeah, get up, you bastard. Right. I've done this in a ridiculously stupid way, because this one really should have come out first. There we go, it's out now. Okay, right. I think she's all free. I think we're there. Hey. So, yeah, that's what I wanted. So all of that out in one piece, and then I can strip that down in my leisure, not have bits all over the place. Stand's got to come off, and then we'll do the same with the front end. Hopefully we'll just drop this top bolt out here, take the whole fork, wheel, everything, all out one assembly. So hey, we're getting there, we're making progress. Right, wind's getting up, so if it takes the sound away, my apologies. But we are going to do the same thing again with the front end and try and take it all off in one big piece. 22mm on the top. I don't think we're going to be able to do it the way I wanted to do it. No, we can't. We've got to I was hoping just to drop the whole forks out in one complete piece, but I'm being a plank, and I've got to take this triple tree off to get at the big bolt in the middle, ain't I? So fucking Allen key somewhere. Some Allen key bits, there they are. What size is that? That one? What do you reckon? What size is that? Is that the one? Oh, what a guess. The only trouble is that's only quarter drive, so that's going to put a little bit of strain on that poor little old socket there. One of them, it's got a quarter drive adapter. I thought it did have. Obviously not. Now, let's try my little quarter drive socket. I don't think that's going to cut the mustard though, as they say. Let's try it. It's getting really windy here, guys, so apologies if you can't hear me. Yeah, that's got it. These are strange. I've never taken one of these apart before, but it's like two little Allen keys. So it's not like a conventional handlebar as such. So let's pop these out and see what we've got underneath. Yeah, well, that gives me access to the triple tree anyway, so let's grab the other one as well. The fucker. That is tight. Proper use of tools. Bastard. They're sort of like clip-ons that don't clip on. They sort of bolt on. Does that make sense? Probably not. Don't care. Yeah, looks like a clip-on, but it's not a clip-on. Now then, what's that, 12mm? Pop these in the box and get a 12mm. So this should hopefully release the top of the triple tree. Am I being American? Is it a triple tree, or have I been watching too many American YouTube channels? Forks look good. I'll obviously give them a proper inspection, but they appear to be in good shape. Right, this one. Good. Right, is that going to come off? Is that it? Is it that simple? Let me get my rubber hammer. I had two of these, I've lost one. Where the other one's gone? Come on then. What's holding it? Am I missing something? Let's get a bar. Well, there it is. I know I had two. Tight lever. Well, I don't know why that's not coming off, but I have noticed some gore marks there that someone else has been hitting the fuck out of it. That wasn't me. I've only hit it with a rubber hammer. So someone's had similar issues. Yeah, anyway, let me fuck about with that, and when I figure it out I'll turn the camera back on. Yeah, I think it just needed a bigger hammer, because it's starting to come now. Very nearly there. Off. So it's not very steady on that stand now, but yeah, it's got some I'll bring you in the light, I can't see a fucking thing out there, but yeah, it's got some galling there, which I'll better take out with a file, but I'll also be able to look at the see if the one on the other bike's a better one. We'll always put the best parts on this one. But yeah, it just needs a good old clean and polish or a paint, I'm not sure yet. Not I'm going to worry about it now. Pop that in the box of goodies. The ever-growing box of goodies. Now let's see what else we need to get this off. So, always worth investing in a set of seam spanners. These things, you can take these off with like a punch and a hammer, and that's how most people do it, but save galling it all up, get yourself a nice seam spanner. I'm hoping these are tapered roller bearings and I'm not going to be chasing ball bearings all over my fucking garden. You never know. Yeah, they are. They're tapered rollers. Right, is that it? Is that going to come off now? Indeed it is. Just fell off. Some just fell off. Alright, let's pop that down there. Oh, it is the tape roll there, it's falling off. Right into the shite and the mud. I'll probably replace them anyway. But for now we'll bag them up. In fact, yeah, it does need replacing. Someone's bent, it's fucked. So, set of tapered roller head bear, tapered, you know what the fuck I mean. Set of them. Now, let's just pop some of this back together so that we don't lose all the parts. And again, same thing, we'll leave this all in one piece. Strip it down only when we're ready to strip it down. Right, let me put some parts away and bag up some nuts and bolts, and then we'll come back. Okay, right, so I'll flip this frame upside down now because I want to get the stand off. The stand is held on with 2 bolts each side, one there, one there. They also, same bolts, carry these brackets here, which are the brackets that carry the belly pan where the bolt's up to, which it wasn't bolted up to. It had a cable tie on one side, so they look bent, they look like they need attention, but we'll worry about that later. Let's get the stand off. Is that actually, it's hard to see whether you're even in focus, to be honest with you, because of the sun. Isn't that typical of British, or me anyway? It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too sunny, it's too dull. There's just no pleasing me. Actually a much better idea of mounting a stand, because usually you have like one bolt that goes all the way through and then they just seize on. At least these you've got a fighting chance of getting them off. Aha! Right. One side. They're a strange looking bolt as well, look at that. And the nut is very thin as well, so obviously clearance I would imagine. Right, let's go for this one. Standoff. It's a relatively easy bite to tear apart actually. We'll pop that loosely together. And put it in the box of goodies. That will need to be rubbed down and cleaned up and fuck knows what else. Yeah, there it is, the main stand. Very easy to take off. I've had some battles with stands in my time over bites, heat and hammers, and oh, some of them are right mad. Anyway, that one isn't. It's easy. Right, we are so close to having a bare stripped frame. There's a couple of more little jobs to do. What I need to do is tap out these bearing races. They're going to be replaced, and I was tempted to leave them in to protect, you know, so the surface for powder coating. But I don't know if I am going to powder coat, and I don't want to be hammering on a freshly powder coated or painted frame for that matter. So let me get my bench thing set up here. Right, let me just grab what I need and I'll bring you back. Right, let me show you this. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get these out. That's the races there. Now what you normally would do, or all the ones I've dealt with, is you poke them up from the other side, and then there's a lip sort of there that you can rest this against and tap them out. But on this one there is no such lip, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to tap them out, but let me have a play around and see what I can figure out. Also, what I want to remove is this ID plate, which is riveted on. So I'm hoping I can just lever that out and hopefully save the rivets as well, so we can tap them back in. They're just like a force fit rivet, they just tap in. So yeah, I'm going to turn the camera off and work on that, and then we'll bring you back for a look. Okay, right, I've got the ID plate off. Minimal damage, but not totally damage free, and then there's little rivets there that hold it. I'll just manage to lever them off. I think you can buy these rivets, they just hammer in, so I'll keep these ones for now, but we'll worry about that when it comes to putting it back together. I'm still kind of flummoxed as to how to get these races out. I've never had them like that, where the race is lower than the actual metal inside, so I'm still scratching my head about that one, but yeah, we'll hopefully try and figure something out. Right, let's carry on. Right, still struggling with this, trying to get these bearing races out. That's a stupid idea, not having a way of getting them, and I've resorted to this, which is like a die grinder on the end of my Dremel. I'm going to carry on doing that. I'm hoping I can get deep enough that I can hit it with a chisel and split it, so we'll bring you back if we have any luck. Right, it got it. Not very pretty, but it got it. Little bit of galling up on that, which we can hopefully tidy up quite easily. I think we're okay. We'll soon find out when we get the new bearings. If I put them in and they just fall out again, I've fucked it up, but I don't think I have. That's fine. Right, now that was the easy one. We've got to do the one on the other side. So we are slowly getting there. As you can see, I'm having to sort of slowly whittle away without actually touching the surface underneath. So I've got to get it just right, but yeah, it's a fucking stupid idea. Kawasaki have come up with some cracking design ideas on this bot frame, but I'm afraid that's not one of them. Right, let's carry on grinding. Oh, we did it. What an absolute fucking pain in the ass that was. But it's out. No damage there. I'll just clean that up a little bit. Well, I say no damage, there is a little bit, but I think we can get away with it. Right, let me have a tidy up and we'll take a look at what we've done. Right then, that is a totally 100% stripped frame. There is nothing on it. It's ready for whatever we're going to do to it. Still not decided. Powder coating, rub it down, paint it, what the hell. I did rub it down a little bit there just to see how it would take. and those fucking things were a pain in the ass. But yeah, anyway, you can't get a more stripped down bike than that, I promise you. Not unless you start cutting things off, and we don't want to do that. What's that bit of fucking tape for? Yeah, no idea. We can worry about that later. Yeah, anyway, I've had enough for today. We'll call that a day. And I don't know what we're going to do next, but we'll worry about it later. Thanks guys, catch you all later.